Hey, Jeff here. So, I was just watching a video. I was watching one of our fellow vinyl community people, John over at JB's Vinyl and Cassettes. Check him out. I'll have a link to his video below. He did a video on owning items on multiple mediums. And in his case, he was showing how he loves vinyl and cassettes. It sounded like a thread, felt like a thread, smelled like a thread. So let's start a thread. Basically, the idea is, are you a multi-medium collector? Now, I gave it some thought, and I'm taking a slightly different twist on it. Now, in 91, 92 was around the time when I sold off all of my records, and I made the switch to just CD. So from the early 90s on, it was just CDs. So I've got, thousands of CDs now. And then, of course, in 2017, about a year before I started doing videos here on YouTube, I got back into buying vinyl records. And obviously, the majority of the vinyl records I bought, I already own on CD. So I could give examples galore. He showed a couple examples. So what I did is took a slightly different approach to it. I wanted to see recently, real recently, albums that I bought on two mediums and why. So I've never been much of a cassette person. I've always been CD and vinyl. So the thought is, what does it take to prompt you to buy a band on two different mediums? So in my case, there are basically certain bands that I collect. I'm a collector. I like to have all their stuff. So that would prompt me to buy both mediums. It wouldn't prompt me to have all three, because there are some things that are being re-released on cassette, but it will prompt me to buy, mediums that I do prefer, CD and vinyl. So those are the examples I'm showing, and I just looked back to a real short time distance because I don't want to make this real long. Just a few examples to give you an idea of why you would buy something and why I buy something, and then maybe you want to do something and jump on board with this too. So if you've watched my videos for any length of time, and I'm talking over the years, over the past couple years I've been doing videos, I've shown a lot of this particular artist. People know he's kind of a quirky artist, and people have seen that I am always talking and have shown my entire collection of his stuff. And that is Thor. He's, 80s, basically. He didn't make it real huge in America. Most people know his album Only the Strong, a couple other things. So he never quite made it huge with the 80s metal scene. He's always been kind of a more of an underground thing, and he's got a cult following, and so there are a lot of people out there that really enjoy his stuff, and I'm one of them. So over the years, I've picked up pretty much everything I can get my hands on CD. So then when vinyl came back into swing, I started buying everything on vinyl, and so he is one of the artists that I will still buy in both mediums. So, and this is his newest album. It just came out this year. Yeah, just came out this year. And so I do have it. They released it on both, and I bought it on both. So there are certain bands like that. Another one, and this prompts me to do it, is when they put out package deals where you have multiple mediums, and sometimes you can get a discount on that. So such a band like Flying Colors, I've also talked these guys up a lot, and I'm a huge Flying Colors fan. And so when this live album came out, it came out on, a multi-vinyl set. And then it came out in this photo book idea where it's a photo book with all kinds of photos from the show. You can see some of that. And inside here, now of course there's another reason to get it this way too, but inside here you have CDs, but then you also have Blu-rays, DVDs, things along that line. So in this case you get this set which has the digital and the video, but then I turn around and bought it also on vinyl. So there are bands like this that I am a huge fan of that I will tend to buy both sets. Now in this case, because it is video, I wanted the video, so it made more sense to buy the combination video and audio because I did want the CD too. So, and they're always good for, this band, Neil Morris, people like that are always good for putting out these interesting box type combination sets. As a matter of fact, the pocketbook's going to be hurting pretty soon. I think in the next couple days. Transatlantic is another band that Mike Portnoy and Neil Morse are in. It's a prog band, and they every few years get together and put out a new album. When they have a new album coming out, the pre-orders go up, I think, on the 20th. So they have a single disc edition and a double disc edition, and they're different. Not only is it just the fact that they have more songs, they've actually tweaked the recording, re-recorded some parts, remixed some parts. So in actuality, the single disc CD edition and the double disc CD edition are not completely different, but they're different enough to where they're different. So you feel the need to buy both. Now they have a vinyl edition, and they have an edition for the single disc, and they got an edition for the double disc. So you have two different versions on vinyl. Fortunately, and I don't have a clue what the cost is going to be, but they do have a, monster combo kit where you get all 5 vinyl records and I think 3 CDs. So you'll get the whole package. So, that's one of those bands I'm going to, because it's sort of related to these guys, it's one of those bands I'm going to buy in both formats. Now, looking around, I looked over and at some of the recent Christian bands I've purchased, and, the brand new Striper. I have always bought their stuff on CD, so I've been buying it. Now I kind of toyed with the idea with the previous album prior to this one. I only bought it on vinyl, and now I'm having a hard time buying it on CD for a decent price, because I started toying with the idea of just buying the vinyl and getting the digital tracks. But then I thought, I need to get it. Anyway, now it's hard to get, so I didn't get the CD of that, but I did grab this. So Striper is one of those bands that I will collect. And then this is one of the recent limited run vinyl, a band called Paradox. They're a little unknown band, but in the Christian market, these guys were in the late 80s, mid-late 80s. They were one of my favorite bands. I don't usually, when they put out the limited run vinyl, they usually do put them on CD. And a lot of times I put them on those new gold discs, which I'm just not. A lot of times I don't want to buy them. They're a little more expensive, but there's few bands that I'll buy on both, because chances are, even though it's been remastered, chances are I already have the CD from some other time. But in this case, this has never been on CD. It's never been really officially released, and so I felt the need to get both because I wanted the official release. And then their next album is coming out in the same manner, and I'll do the same thing. And so there are certain bands that I've never had on CD that I will do that with. And so that's another reason to do both, is maybe they've never been on CD, and so now you're getting a reissue of both, and so I may want to have both. Not, like I say, I don't always jump on board with the reissues on CD that I may already have, or a reissue on a gold disc that might be a little more. So I don't always jump on board with those, but sometimes I might. Now, this is another, I just wanted to bring this up. This was my last video. I talked about the Metal Church album. I just wanted to throw this in there. This is another band that I bought on vinyl that I already had, because it's just, I love the release. I wanted to have it on vinyl. Now, I mentioned in the last video, and I wanted to clear this up, I mentioned that this sounded really rough for one of the music on vinyl. It was really poppy and crackly, and it just sounded bad for a brand new release that was on gray vinyl. So the other day, I was cleaning up all those records that I showed in one of my previous videos that I got from Value Vinyl, all the old records. I cleaned them up, so I had all my cleaning material out, and I was cleaning it all up. I was done with all of that. I went ahead and gave this a simple cleaning. I didn't do soap or anything. I simply sprayed it down with my rinse solution, gave it a couple runs with the brush, dried it off, threw it on. It's perfect. So I guess, even though it's a brand new release, people do clean their brand new releases. I don't always do that, but in this case, I'm realizing now that it may be worth doing. Every once in a while, you get a new release and it sounds kind of crackly, and I know now that all it could be is just a little clean. So yes, I am happy to say this has been restored to perfection, not a cracker pop, and it just sounds amazing. So I wanted to throw that in. That's all for now. I wanted to make this just a quick one. Check out John over at JB's and jump on the thread. Show us some bands and reasons why you would buy them on multiple. I know some people buy them on multiple mediums because they just want to collect everything. Is that a reason you would do it? I have become more content with a lot of these vinyl releases of new music, to where I'll get it on vinyl record and a digital download. I like that idea because I do like to have a digital copy that I can take with me mobile, when I'm out and about, and have on my computer if I'm not available to listen to records. So I do have that, and sometimes I'll buy the CD, but a lot of times I'm satisfied with just having the digital tracks. Anyway, what do you think? What are some bands that you like so much that you want to have everything they have? Would you go so far as to buy it on vinyl and cassette and CD? I mean, how far do you go with that? And what are some of the reasons you do it? Let us know. Comment below. Give it a thumbs up. Like it, subscribe, and thanks a lot. And I will see you later. Rock on.